Welcome back, Fantasy Fiction Fanatics. It's good to see you again, and I hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to be talking about 6 simple ways to try and incorporate reading into your daily life when you feel like you don't have that much time. So I know that a lot of people have mentioned to me that they wish they could read more, or that they just don't have time, or they just are not getting as much reading done as they'd like, whatever it may be. But I thought of these 6 different ways that you can go ahead and try and incorporate it back into your day to try and read more if that is something that you are looking for. I do have a blog post about this, so if you'd like to look at that as well, I will link it down for you. I will link it down below for you if I can talk. And you can go ahead and check out what I said in the blog post as well if you think that would be helpful. So let's go ahead and jump right in, first of all, with number 1, and that is going to be to try audiobooks. So some of you guys have mentioned that you like audiobooks, some of you mentioned that you don't really try audiobooks, but if you are trying to incorporate reading back into your routine or trying to find more ways to read, trying audiobooks is a great way to do that without giving up much else in your daily life. It is a little bit of a different experience. It's not quite the same as reading a physical book, but at the same time, you still can enjoy the story and get that reading experience still, at least in some way, by trying an audiobook. If you're wondering whether audiobooks are for you or not, I do also have a blog post about that, and I can link that down below for you as well if you're trying to look at the pros and cons of audiobooks. But in general, audiobooks allow you to read a book while also doing other things, whether it be cleaning, driving somewhere. Maybe you are busy doing work that you have to do, but you have the mental capacity to also listen to something in the background and stuff like that. So audiobooks allow you to experience reading or get a semi-reading experience while also being able to do other things that you have to do, and you don't have to give up time in order to try and fit in some reading. So if you haven't tried audiobooks, I definitely recommend them if you are trying to find new ways to incorporate more reading. Second is going to be bringing your book with you everywhere you go. This is something that I've done even when I was little. I have always had some kind of book around, and it helps if it is at least for my case, a Kindle or an ebook, because then it can be on my phone or on a thin tablet or Kindle. But it also is good if you have a physical copy to just throw it in your car when you're going, wherever you're going. Because even though you might not think that you have time to read somewhere, you never know when plans might change, something might happen, and you'll be waiting around for something. Maybe you're in the doctor's office and it's taking them longer to get you into the back room. I mean, a lot of times at the doctor's office, you have to wait in the waiting room for a while. Or say you're dropping your kid off somewhere and it ends up taking longer than you think, and you're sitting around and you have a moment to sit down and read. It's a nice way to pass the time while you're out and about and you're not expecting to do it, but you end up finding time to read there. And so you're using up the valuable time that you have waiting for somebody by getting that chance to read and incorporating that more into your life. So definitely bring a book with you everywhere you go, whether it's on your phone, whether it's a physical copy, whatever it may be. Have it with you just in case. You never know when you might have an opportunity to read. 3 is kind of a little bit not conventional in the fact that it is about power outages. And those are not the most common nor the most planned things. However, power outages are great for reading because you can't do too much else. The TV's not going to be working. Your computer, unless it's a laptop and it's already fully charged, is probably not going to be of much help for you. So there's a lot of harder things to do during a power outage. But there are a couple of things that you can do, and one of those is reading. If it's a physical book, you can either get a flashlight or light some candles or something of that nature and relax and read a book, and that's a great option. Or if you have a Kindle or on your phone or wherever else on a device that is a battery related device instead of needing an outlet to plug it in, then you have your light built into that book and you can go ahead and read then. And again, a lot of your other options, unless you are, like I said, have a fully charged battery operated technology device, is going to be not an option for you. So it's a great time to read and enjoy yourself while you have the ability to say, well, everything else is out. I guess I should just sit down and relax and read a book. Fourth way is to either join a book club or to kind of collaborate with a friend to read a book together. So this is going to be a way to keep you accountable in the fact that if you have other people expecting you to read the book, it becomes a higher priority. And in general, a lot of reasons why we don't read as much during our days is not because we don't enjoy it, but because we don't make it a priority. Because, you have work, you have kids, you've got appointments, you've got whatever else it is that you might need to do that's more of a priority than reading. So if you add a book club or, tell a friend like, hey, we're going to read this together and talk about it together, and you set times when you have to have certain portions read by, whatever that may be, it's going to give you that priority boost where it's like, okay, somebody is relying on me to read books. If I don't read the book, I'm letting somebody else down. And that will make it so you can push for that to happen during your day. You're going to find that time because it is now something you have to do instead of something you would just like to do. That's actually something that helps me read, is because I do all these videos and reviews for you guys. So I have to make sure I make the time to do the reading, read a book, and review it for you. So it does really help when you have the accountability of somebody else expecting you to help them or to read with them. And then it's also fun because then you have someone to discuss the book with. Number 5 is to schedule it in. So some of you who are really busy on the go, always have to go somewhere, you're really on a scheduled timing, perhaps what could help you is to pencil it into your schedule. Be like, okay, I have a free moment here, I'm going to pencil it in. Now, don't get too ambitious when scheduling it in. I am not saying you should go and be like, I have a whole hour, I'm going to dedicate an hour for reading. Unless you have an hour, then good for you, schedule it in, good to go. But you might look at your schedule and be like, well, I only have 15-minute breaks here and there. That's not enough to read. But really, 15 minutes, whether once a day, once a week, once a month, whatever, is going to be more than you were doing before when you were just not scheduling it in at all. So even if you only have 10, 15 minutes to sit down, read a book, however often you can get that schedule in is going to be great for you to do. And you're going to have still done more reading that you enjoy than you did previously. So don't worry if it's a large chunk of time or a small chunk of time. Just find where it fits well for you, schedule it in, and then stick to that schedule. Be dedicated and be like, nope, this is the time I've set aside purposefully for reading, and I'm going to sit down and do that. You deserve to have some you time, and scheduling it in might be the best way for you. And 6, our last little tip for you, is going to be creating a habit or a routine. So this is going to be very similar to the scheduling it in, and the fact that you are going to set a time, whether it be 15 minutes every day, 15 minutes every week, 15 minutes, every other Tuesday. I don't know, whatever it may be, whatever space that you have in your schedule, you're going to schedule that in, that you have that often that you're scheduling it. So say it's, once a week, you're going to say, okay, every Friday at 2 p.m. I'm going to read and make that my habit. Or say you have, 10 minutes before you sleep, you want to have that pencil out in and be like, okay, before I go to sleep, 10 minutes before I go to sleep, I'm going to read. Or whatever it may be that works for you. You're going to find a consistent time that works for you to read and pencil it in there. And then you're going to follow through on that scheduling for that habit that you're going to create. Again, it doesn't have to be a long period of time. It could be 10, 15 minutes, no problem. It could be longer than that if you have time for that. But the point of making this a habit or a routine is that then you will have a continuous way of doing your reading, and it won't be, so up in the air. Habits are really great that will then, you start going for it, and at first you have to remind yourself, at first you have to do it, but then eventually you'll be like, oh my gosh, this is just my reading time. You just automatically sit down and you do it, and you can enjoy it and not have to stress about it. So creating a routine or continuous time to do it can also be a way to have a consistent marker to continue your reading. Again, it's whether you have the same kind of scheduling every day. I mean, if you don't, that might not be the best way to do it for you. But if you find that your schedule is pretty much routine, creating a habit or a routine at a particular time to read could work very well for you. Of course, keep in mind that habits or routines can be tweaked and changed. So if it doesn't work out right away, like the time that you schedule in is just not happening, you find you did it the first day, and then every other day after that you just find it's not working for you or it's not getting done, don't give up. Go ahead and just change it to another time that you have that is available for you and see if that time works better. See if you find time that you're more motivated to read and try and work it in there instead. Just don't give up if the habit doesn't form right away or it takes a little bit of time and trial and error to find the right time for you. So there we go. There you have it, my 6 simple ways to try and incorporate reading more into your life if that is something that you are looking for. Hopefully these help you. If any of you are already doing some of these, I would love to hear about it and see if they help you or not, or if you have your own way to help you read more during your days, during your years. I would love to hear about them. I would hope that this is helpful, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.